Back we are then on ESPN Cricinfo T20 timeout to discuss all things IPL. Let's talk about the Mumbai Indians ahead of what will be the first game of the second leg in the UAE of IPL 2021. And Ian Bishop and Sanjay Manjrekar will help me remember what happened in the first half, as I will help them. Mumbai Indians, defending champions, started with a loss against RCB on the opening day. They then had two wins, they then had two losses, they then had two wins again. They were out of Chennai, went to Delhi, and were looking to get some momentum. And that last game, which was to give them that momentum, was that classic with Kyron Pollard. So this is a team, Sanjay, that hasn't fielded their four overseas in the first half of the IPL. What can we expect from the Mumbai Indians now? Is there still something missing in this otherwise formidable team as the second leg is set to take off?
Uh, the first half we saw Mumbai Indians not being at their best and still being good enough to be in the top four, so that shows the amount of depth that they have. I think the biggest talking point was Hardik Pandya, not firing in that first half, and Pollard for a while, and then he played that one of the great IPL innings. Most bases covered. Rahul Chahar is getting better as a bowler. Plus, they have the option of seam bowlers and foreign players as well. It looks a pretty good outfit, and with the change in surfaces in UAE, you might see the better Mumbai Indians this time around in the second half.
Pollard has been in good form, so he's a shoe-in. On a local side, I like to see Surya Kumar Yadav kick on when he gets his little starts. It frustrates me as a fan of his that he was getting starts and not really kicking on in that the first part of the IPL. But Adam Milner, as you rightly said, looking at the way that he bowled in the 100, I mean, as a fast bowler, I was salivating, or ex-fast bowler. I think he definitely is bowling faster. His control is superb, and he's in good form. So I would get him in that lineup somehow.
Six players in the Indian T20 World Cup squad. Rohit Sharma seems to be the heir apparent. Does that in any way come into Mumbai's dressing room ahead of the IPL, Sanjay, or does it stay firmly outside?
Yeah, I think outside because these are guys who now seem, although a lot of them are young players, they are very seasoned T20 and Mumbai Indian players as well. I mean, Indian selection is something that they would have expected, the kind of performances that they've put in. But I think their focus will be firmly on the IPL and trying to get there as they always do. So I don't think the Indian angle, the selection of being selected in that Indian T20 team will have any bearing on these guys.
For a team that's historically known to not start well, they can't quite afford to not start well twice in the same season, Vish. Are you expecting them to hit the ground running this time?
I think there's a good chance to do that simply because I think I counted 6 or 7 guys who were either in an international setup, playing in an international setup, or playing some domestic cricket, as is the case with Pollard, high level franchise cricket after the international. So, given that so many of the Indian guys are coming out of that tour of England quite recently, there's every chance they'll hit the ground running.